Shalom. So before I get started, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rahak Wadash. Double honors to the head apostles of Great Millstone, who do rule well and teach well with sound doctrine. Shalom. And to the elders and the elder bishops of Great Millstone as well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect, the men, women, and children listening and learning from the servants and prophets of Yahweh Bashim Shai, and a hearty shalom to the sincere brethren doing the work in truth and sincerity, giving diligence to make their calling and election sure, building up the tabernacle of David through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Shai in these last days. Shalom, shalom. And last but not least, a hearty shalom to the men of valor and DTA camps prophesying the downfall of this wicked queendom, aka Babylon the Great as well. Shalom, shalom. So this is Brother Ashamath from the Watchman on the coast out here in San Diego, back at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Shai. Adon Rathazah, Yahweh Rathazah, I pray the lesson's edifying. So this lesson's going to go into this article right here, / prophecy update on the oncoming worldwide famine that's soon to hit Babylon the Great. I'm going to put this up, bro. I haven't read this article at all. Literally read the header and, some precepts came into mind and we'll just rock. So the article reads as such. Largest UK supermarket warns worse has yet to come amid food inflation crisis. And this article came out today, fresh off the press, Tuesday, February 8th, 2022, the year of Yahweh Bashim Shai turning up, aka 2020 through. And the article reads, we'll read the first 3 paragraphs and then go into the scriptures and wrap on up. So it reads, Britain's largest supermarket chain warned the worst is yet to come on food inflation as the cost of living crisis pulverizes the working poor. And we've seen these type of food price increases in Babylon the Great in certain areas of the country. Brothers were sharing videos where, packs of steaks and so on and so forth were like $100 and something. And I've seen this personally down here in San Diego, the little supermarket. Well, it's a big supermarket chain, better yet, called Vons, which is also called Safeway in Northern California, Oregon, and Washington. I went to Vons literally about a week and a half ago, and the same pack of chicken that was $5-6 at the most, for some wings, the preseasoned chicken, the buffalo wings, or like the lemon pepper, or like the barbecue style, where you can throw them on the grill. Them joints is like $15, man, $16, triple the price they were before. And I noticed at the grocery store also that certain items, they've increased the price, by a third, and that's spiritual. A lot of the items that I used to buy, they're like $1.50, $2 more, as far as, $4, $5, $6 items, and some actual prices of items have doubled and tripled. Back to the article, and it reads, John Allen, chairman of Tesco PLC, told the BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation, I believe, Sunday morning, live, that low-income households have difficulty choosing between food and heat this winter. Pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, nor on the Sabbath day. Budgets are tight, triggering a winter of discontent if widespread inflation doesn't diminish. Let's just get that precept. So I think it's Matthew 24. Let's say 20. Let's just go. Matthew 24:20. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. And we're starting to see a lot of biblical end time prophecies come to pass. As far as this man looking to basically push the charagma out there in front of your face, and it's looking like this year is going to be the year, the gathering as far as the elect, Ezekiel 37, the two sticks coming together, all in the unicorn, and, live and direct in your face, Saturday and Sunday, or whatever day brothers hold camp. Also, you're starting to see the beginning stages of what's looking like to be World War III, uprisings of the people, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. You're starting to see, people having no regards for their kings and princes, taken to the streets, fucking shit up. And this is on a worldwide basis, man. People are tired of, the lies, the deception, the event that happened about 2 years ago that is affecting economies worldwide. You're starting to see this man looking to try to crown his enterprise, and he's starting to speak like a dragon now. We're going to submit people by starvation, basically. That's what, the French prime minister, president, whatever he's called out there, Macron, said. And that's the mentality of the wicked elite, Back into the article, and it says, in some ways, the worst is still to come, because although food price inflation in Tesco last quarter was only 1%, we are impacted by rising energy prices. Also, you're starting to see they're putting it out there that they want to, or they're putting it out there that they're expecting, better yet, a cyber attack, as far as taking down the electrical grid in some form or fashion in Babylon the Great, trying to implement the Great Reset, introducing crypto central bank digital currencies, slowly but surely walking you towards charagma. Our suppliers are impacted by rising energy prices. Also, there's a chip shortage, allegedly. We're doing it, we're doing all we can to offset it, but that's the sort of number we're talking about. Of course, 5%, Tesco's Allen said. And this is a article that was done on this guy's statement yesterday. It says, worse to come for food price rises, Tesco boss says. And Tesco, I believe that's a food chain. Let's just look it up. We got a little bit of time this morning. Tesco food chain, Tesco supermarkets. And this is in the UK. It's lucky, So there you have it, And this is only going to get worse. Let's go into the scriptures and wrap on up. So this is the book of Ezekiel, the 4th chapter, in the 16th verse. And it says, moreover, he said unto me, son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem. And Jerusalem is the people before it's a place, And you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who are outside the circle, you're gonna feel this heat, pretty soon, as far as, famines, them looking to blame you for the pestilence, you being the face of terror. Jacob's trouble is literally knocking at the door, about to bust the door down pretty soon, man. And you who are outside the circle are going to feel the wrath of the heat. Ezekiel 4:16, moreover, he said unto me, son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, a people before it's a place, and they shall eat bread by weight, and with care, and shall drink water by measure and with astonishment. You're going to be sitting there weighing out your rice for the week. You're going to have a couple cups of rice to live on, for a couple weeks or maybe a month. Half a loaf of bread. You're going to have people invading one another because of lack of bread. Let's get that. Second Ezra 15 and about, I want to say 18. Con. This is Second Ezra 15 and 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. And what's the modern day sword? The gun. And you have this happening in LA. You have men going into other men's houses, taking their food out of their house, and then taking their woman. Imagine when there's no food in the grocery stores. And the only option you have is to go down to that nice, warm facility that they're advertising as far as the FEMA housing center, the FEMA help center, supplied to you by the Department of Homeland Security. And we know what's going to happen when you get there. You may not know what's going to happen. We're going to tell you, though. You know, they're going to beat you to submission, and they're going to make you take that charagma and bow down. Second Ezra 15 and 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Great tribulation. That's what's coming. It's right around the corner. Ezekiel 4 and 16 again from the top. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care. And they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment. With astonishment. You're going to be like, man, what? It was all good just a week ago. Ezekiel 4 and 17. That they may want bread and water and be astonied with one another and consume away for their iniquity. And that reminds me of Lamentations 4 and 9. I'll just read it real quick. We'll bring it up in a few. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger, for these pine away, consume away, stricken through for the want of the fruits of the field. You're going to be like one of those children in the feed the children commercials, man. You know, your ribs touching and showing. Extreme hunger. Ezekiel 5 and 16, when I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine. The evil arrows of famine. You got to remember, Yahweh Bashim Yashai is a man of war. You know, and blockade and siege, that's an ancient war tactic. And he's using Esau Edom to facilitate the blockade and siege in these last days. Ezekiel 5 and 16, when I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction, who? The wicked and the wicked of our people, and which I will send to destroy you, and I will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff of bread. Because the hour of temptation, you know, that's going to come upon the whole world. You know? Because you have Israel spread amongst all nations. So this man's going to have to bring down the wrath and bring down the hammer upon everybody. Because you got Jake, as far as the nation of Israel, who looks like every single nation. And he doesn't know who's who. You know, in the grand scheme of things. He knows who's who as far as the men standing on their feet in great boldness, but everybody else, it's a mystery with them. So he's going to have to come down with great wrath. Ezekiel 5 and 17, so will I send upon you famine and evil beasts, and they shall bereave thee, and pestilence and blood shall pass through thee, and I will bring the sword upon thee. And who was given the sword? Esau Edom. I, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yashai, have spoken it. Let's get this real quick. See what bereave is, Slakia. Just want to look that up. Ezekiel 5 and 17. Let's see what bereaved means. So this word is Strong's H.
Strong's H, 7921. Shachol. Shachol.
And it means to make childless, miscarry, rob of children, bereave, childless, lost children. And that reminds me of Isaiah, the 47th chapter. Barren, fruit, young, lose children, miscarry, rob children, spoil, destroy. Let's get Isaiah, the 47th chapter real quick. I think it's Isaiah 47:8 or 9. Slack you. Yeah. Come on. This is Isaiah 47:8. Therefore, hear now this, thou art given to pleasures that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. And that's Esau, Edom's mentality, you know. And you have 2/3 of our people who are drunk off of the wine of Babylon, and they're going to have to suffer, you know, for following this devil. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. And that's Esau, Edom's, mindset. I am and none else beside me. I run this. There is no power. There is no God. I'm God. Isaiah 47:9. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day. In 1 hour, Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed, man. But these two things shall come to thee in one moment. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, Slakia, in one day. The loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection. Precise blows, man. Headshot. That's what Yahweh Shema Shah is going to hit Esau with, man. They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. And that's all this thing is that he's advertising on television. It's all an enchantment, man. But you have a lot of our people under the spell. And the deceive and the deceiver are his, man. 2 Ezra 15:5. Behold, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And these are all going to be facilitated by Esau Edom. Esau Edom was given the sword. Esau Edom's on television telling you that he's going to implement a great famine. This is an Edomite on television telling you that. And as a result of Esau Edom coming down with the sword, speaking as a dragon, setting draconian measures, locking up those who facilitate and help, the truckers out there, those who facilitate the protests and those who help the truckers and give them food and water. He's looking to arrest those people now in Canada. And that's going to come to Babylon the Great. When they set forth, their new list of draconian measures, those who are helping people who they're viewing as enemies of the state, people who, they're viewing as, domestic terrorists and so on and so forth. If you're aiding and abetting these people, giving them food, water, so on and so forth, supplies, you're going to be deemed as an enemy of the state as well. You're going to have people turning on each other, telling on each other, and some more. And that's all going to be facilitated as far as these drastic measures and so on and so forth, the sword, famine, death, and destruction by Esau Edom, the so-called white man. He was given the sword in Genesis, the 27th chapter. He's on television telling you he's going to bring a famine. And it's actually Yahweh Bashim Shai put in the spirit on him to do this, to fulfill biblical prophecy. Because of, the great famine and him bringing down the sword, it's going to cause a lot of death. A lot of people are going to die from it, and a lot of people are going to be destroyed. And those are all people who Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai wants to get that judgment. This is Lamentations 4:9 again from the top. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger, for these pine away, stricken through stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. Now, if you go into this word right here for hunger, it means famine, hunger, dearth, famished. Famine, hunger, more or less extensive, etc., etc. Let's get the biblical usage. Famine, hunger. Famine in the land, nation. Hunger of individuals. Now, let's look up dearth. Dearth, it means a scarcity or lack of something. And we just read 2 Ezra 15:19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbors, but shall destroy their houses with the sword but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And that's already happening on a small scale right now in certain parts of the country. Via California, we have it happening up in LA and Orange County on a small scale. But wait till you need that thing to get into the grocery store. And that's happening up in Canada. In Walmart and in Costco, you need the Tupac CD, in your body. You need to be hit up. Wait till that comes to Babylon the Great. And if you go into the root of the word, as far as hunger is H7458. I'm just let them say it.
Strong's H7458. Ra'av. Ra'av.
And if you go into the root of the word, it's Strong's H7456.
Strong's H7456. Ra'av. Ra'av.
And it means hunger, suffer, to, famish, have, be, have, suffer, to, hunger, hungry, hunger, hungry, suffer, famished, to be hungry, to be voracious, to be hungry, to allow one to be hungry, allow to hunger. And that's what Esau Edom's going to do. He's going to allow you to be hungry and allow you to be, allow you to hunger. And it's actually Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai who's doing that. If you go into this word voracious, it means voracious is an adjective used to describe a wolf-like appetite. It might be a craving for food or something else, such as power, but the word usually denotes the unflattering greediness. If you go into the other definitions, it means wanting or devouring great quantities of food, or wanting, better yet, to devour great quantities of food, because you're going to be that starved out, man. Having having a huge appetite, ravenous, excessively eager, excessively hungry. Let's keep it going. Let's close on out with a few last precepts. Isaiah 65:13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, power. Behold, my servant shall eat. We're going to be good in that day, man. But ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. You may have a few dry pockets here and there. That's just to test your faith. Overall, as a whole, the servants of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai and the elect are going to be good. Because the scriptures tell us that. And we believe. Isaiah 65:13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, power. Behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Who's the ye? The 2/3, those that don't believe on the report, and the heathens, man. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshai power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. And that directly correlates with Ezekiel 4:16. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, a people before its a place, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment. They that may want bread and water, and be astonied one with another, and consume away for their iniquity, pine away. Your body's going to start eating itself out from the inside. You know? Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshai power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. My servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, and ye shall be ashamed. You know? Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. And you're going to be having your head down in the kingdom as well for a little while, man. You know? Isaiah 65:14. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. You're going to be through, you know? And a lot of people are going to result to cannibalism. Slakia. A lot of people are going to result to cannibalism. Slakia. You know, cannibalism, not cannibalism. Cannibalism. And you see that happening already in Haiti with the Levites. There was a video that a brother put on IG, and I don't want to put it on this lesson because it may get the channel taken down. One of the strikes I had was supposed to wear off today, but you know, Esau is sometimes he'll say that, and, you know, keep the strike up. But back to the point, there was a dude in Haiti, and there was a guy on fire, and it was on camera. The dude took a piece of the dude's arm and started eating it, man. You know? And you're going to have a lot of people resulting to cannibalism, you know? Because, you know, they're going to be so desperate. They're going to be eating their own children, eating their own mothers, eating their own fathers, eating their own cousins, eating their own best friends, betraying one another to eat one another, you know? We're living in those times. Isaiah 65:14. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. Closing precept. Adon Rathazah, Yahweh Rathazah. This lesson, you know, you found it to be edifying. This is 2 Ezra 2:27. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, and we just read that, you know, these guys are going to be ashamed, you know, and be howling for vexation of spirit. That means heaviness, man. Heaviness in your heart, heaviness in your mind. Crying, man, you know. But ye shall cry for sorrow of a heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. That means you're not going to be in a good case in that day. 2 Ezra 2:27. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, Jacob's trouble, others shall weep and be sorrowful. We just read that, you know. Shall howl. Yep. It's beautiful. 2 Ezra 2:27. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful. You shall howl, you know, for, I'll just read it. But ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. 2 Ezra 2:27 again. Others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. My servant shall eat. Because the Lord said we're going to eat, man. And our wrath is aware of that number, man. And we believe, you know. And they're going to have faith in these last days. And let's just read it real quick. So this is Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope. And we go through accounts where, there were miracles done, as far as men being delivered out of situations, men being fed by the angels, men being fed by birds, Yahweh Shem Yashai said the birds eat. They don't have to, toil, so on and so forth. I feed them, so he's going to feed us, man. And right now, we're actually being fed right now. You're being fed as far as with this understanding. Sirach 15:3. You're being fed the hidden manna, man. Sirach 15:3, with the bread of understanding shall she feed him, and give him the water of wisdom to drink. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability, of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord, is what's going to preserve you through Jacob's trouble, and this knowledge and wisdom and faith. Let's read Romans 15:4 again one more time. We'll close on out. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, for our faith, and building up our faith. That we, that's possessive right there, that we, not everybody, that we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope. And our hope is in the victory. Our faith is in the victory. And victory is coming to the remnant, as well as having an abundance in that day, and being preserved through Jacob's trouble. We're going to eat, we're going to drink. We're going to be good because the Lord says so, man. So with that, I'd like to close on out. And in closing, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakach Wadash. Double honors, Slack to the head apostles of Great Millstone, who do rule well and teach well with sound doctrine. Shalom unto the elders and the elder bishops of Great Millstone as well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect. And the hearty shalom to the servants and prophets, teaching and preaching in truth and sincerity, building up the tabernacle of David in these last days. Shalom, shalom. And last but not least, a hearty shalom to the men of valor in the DTA camps spread all across Babylon the Great, prophesying the downfall of this wicked queendom as well. Shalom, shalom. So, Adon Rathazah, Yahweh Rathazah, I pray this lesson was edifying. And till next time, next lesson, Lord's will tonight. Shalom, DTA, Wa Abba Baba. So. Shalom.